Are you tired, hangry, still gaining weight? Have you tried fasting and it's not working? Well, let's have a look today at insulin and why insulin can create all of these issues. It can also create brain fog. It can gaining weight, craving carbs, imbalancing your hormones. So when I was talking to somebody back in the UK about fasting, because obviously I run a detox retreat, that's what I talk about. And we were talking about it, and I talked about the fact that, having a rest from the insulin response, eating insulin, eating insulin. So she said, well, why is producing insulin a bad thing? And I don't think I could verbalize it very well. But the problem is that when we produce too much insulin on a regular basis, it's almost like you're tiring out the body, because we were never supposed to eat, so many small meals so often, and we really don't need the amount of food that we eat. So the fact that if you have these symptoms, it could be that you are just producing too much insulin. So what can we do? Well, first of all, obviously, I advocate for fasting. So you're resting your body in between your eating windows. You're giving your time for your body to re-regulate and rest itself. So obviously, I'm going to advocate fasting. We're also going to look at dialing back our sugar. Now, I'm 13 weeks sugar free. I have been eating honey and I have been eating fruit, and I still, after 13 weeks, still crave sugar, maybe several times a day. So I'm just finished a jar of honey. I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to cut my sugar even more. And the only fruit I have in the garden is lemon. So I'm going to only have lemon water, obviously not during my fasting window. I advocate for just water, black coffee and tea. However, I am going to have that when I'm eating. But I'm not going to have sugar for a while, and I'm not going to replace the honey. I'm going to see if that helps, and I will let you know. I'm not a professional in any like doctorate or anything like that, but I'm just somebody who will try whatever I can to improve my health and to help anybody else. If I can help one person, that's all I ever want, is to reach one person and say, look, let's try these things to make us feel as healthy and as fit as possible. So cutting back sugar, prioritizing protein and fat in our diet, whether you want to do keto or not, just dial up the protein, dial back the carbs a little bit. That might be able to help you with your insulin responses. Moving your body. I'm not one for going to the gym. I've said this before. However, I'm meeting some friends for coffee today, and what I will do is I will bike down instead of taking the car, and what can I do on a daily basis that's going to improve and up my movement? Cutting back on snacking all day, because every time we snack, we have an insulin response, and being aware of that, do I really need, I quite often snack on high fat, nuts and things. So do I need to release insulin again? Have a look at that. You just be aware of your body having to work harder every time we eat. And I'm somebody who eats kind of little and often. Even in an eating window, I will still eat kind of little and often. So maybe dialing that back. Maybe I don't need to have that snack. Have a look at that. Managing stress. Now, I like to think my life is really chill here. I don't go to work. I don't sit in an office all day. I'm very blessed to be here. I'm in, beautiful nature, and which is why I want to share it with people. But it's so peaceful here. You can hear the water, you can hear the birds. It's just so calm here. So I don't feel like I suffer from stress. However, when I look at, sometimes I feel under pressure, to do some of the things that I have to do. I have clients coming to stay. And so I am very aware of that. And if I can feel myself getting a little bit stressed and a little bit irritated, doing a meditation, doing some tapping, working out why I'm feeling stressed and dealing with those emotions around that. What else? Sleep. I mean, again, I feel very blessed. I've never suffered from lack of sleep. And so, but if you do, then obviously do everything you can to improve your sleep, because that's the time the body, you know, comes down, regulates itself, repairs. And so sleep is so important for us. So hopefully some of those tips will help you regulate your insulin. Think about when you're eating and the fact that you are now going to release insulin again. Does your body need to eat? Do you want an insulin response? Or can we just rest our bodies for a while and deal with, you know, the food we've already had? So I'm going to do some of those things. Hopefully that will mean that, you know, I can get rid of my brain fog. I can never say that word. Get rid of my brain fog. Might have brain fog. And, you know, lose a few extra pounds. I am doing a very loosey-goosey fast at the moment, but, you know, hopefully that will improve if I can get rid of that insulin response. Have a go. If you can think of anything else that that you know reduces insulin, let me know. I'm always happy to make new videos. And for my friend, hopefully that's answered her question. And happy reducing your insulin, and let me know how you get on.